I put you in charge because I trusted you, but I don't need a useless manager that can't understand the ways of the world. You will no longer be a manager.
Thank you for taking care of my brother. I heard you taught him well. And I'm really sorry that you had to quit the company for my brother's sake.
There are all kinds of employees. Not one employee is like the other, and each person has their strengths and weaknesses. That's why you need to train each one individually. My direct subordinate in front of me was a prime example of that. Good morning, Matsunaga.
Good morning.
It's been a few days since he started working, but he hasn't changed. I, Yuto Misumi, 27, was the manager of the development department at Codeway, which was an IT company of about 500 people. I was struggling with him. Do you think you can do the task I asked you to do? Ask me if there's anything you don't understand. He nods, but it's hard to work with him. Heiji Matsunaga, 22, was listless, and you couldn't tell if he was listening to you. He's the son of the CEO of Hybrid Link, our parent company. He was a nepo baby.
That must be tough. You can complain to me anytime.
Many of my coworkers pitied me for getting the short end of the stick. Well, it's work. Our boss asked me to do it, so I'm gonna do it. No one wanted to talk to this strange guy, and it wasn't like he tried to talk to us. Don't poke the bear. That's how people felt about him. But I was in charge of him, so that didn't matter to me. This is work. I have to treat him neutrally as a boss. Matsunaga, please do this task. I carefully determined the level of work he was capable of. There wasn't much he could do. But he could do the basics, so it was fine as long as I regularly checked up on his progress. That's how I managed, but one day, after 3 months, a problem occurred. Why didn't you talk to me? I asked you many times, didn't I? He had missed a deadline without talking to me.
But I can't do it. I thought you'd be mad if I told you.
Of course you're going to be reprimanded for not meeting deadlines. But if you speak up early on, maybe it could be dealt with. This time, I could have taught you, or I could have lightened your workload. In any case, missing a deadline without saying anything is the worst thing you can do. That negatively impacts your coworkers, and worst case, the clients. Be careful next time, got it?
Yes, sir.
This was the first time I was tough on him. Matsunaga stared at me silently through his glasses. I had no idea what he was thinking. You have to be delicate with him. I told you to be mindful. Why are you reprimanding him? An hour later, I was being yelled at by Shinji Futo, our department head. You can just give him random work and leave him alone. Why can't you understand that? People trust you and you're good at your job. That's why I left you in charge of this important job as a reward. But if I give him special treatment, the other employees won't learn. A company can't run on idealistic fantasies. If we upset our parent company, we're going to lose clients. I put you in charge because I trusted you, but I don't need a useless manager that can't understand the ways of the world. You will no longer be a manager. What? Because I had reprimanded Matsunaga, I was being demoted. I had a legitimate reason to reprimand him. Also, I don't think you have the power to demote or punish me in that way. There are things that need to be done to protect this department. I'm disappointed in you. Then I quit. You're trying to justify it, but this is beyond your position. This is an abuse of power. I see. Fine then. Thank you for everything. I didn't think there was a future in staying at a company where they gave special treatment to the boss's son and abused their power. I said goodbye to my coworkers and quit my job at Codeway. I hope I can find a good place to work. I started looking for my next job as soon as I quit, but it was hard to find the kind of company I was looking for. Oh, how about here? I can work flex hours and they have good PTO policies, and there are good reviews from employees. The IT industry was usually tough, but the CEO is prioritizing workplace comfort. This is a good company. If if I could get a job here... Wait, this is Hybrid Link. It's the company that Matsunaga's parents own. I saw the details first, but upon further inspection, it was the aforementioned parent company. This is enemy territory. Before quitting, I had talked to Matsunaga. Thank you for everything. The department head is going to assign someone else to train you, so be nice.
Okay.
It's possible that he didn't like being reprimanded, and he told on me to the department head to get me demoted. But in the end, I couldn't tell if he was happy or sad to see me quit. But I wasn't going to ignore him. I thought they were just rumors, but I'm glad I did what I was supposed to do. Anyway, I needed a job. But I couldn't find a place that I liked. Maybe I should work freelance. I'd always been interested. There was a reason I didn't like dishonest work. I believed that when I became independent one day, honor and human connection would be what's important. I have savings, and I'm not too old. Might as well try.
I'm sorry to keep you waiting. Can you meet right now? Yes, about the evaluations, right? I can go.
With 500 people, one person quitting is not gonna make any waves. 2 weeks after I had quit, my work was delegated, and Codeway was business as usual. Feels good without that annoying boss, right? Mr. Futo was his usual self. If you'd told me sooner, I could have made things easier for you. You're special. I'll cover for you, so do things the way you want. A different trainer was assigned to Matsunaga, but due to Mr. Futo's direction, they were basically hands off. Matsunaga would come in, do pointless work when he felt like it, and leave at the end of the day. Meanwhile, I had to do things I didn't know how to in order to become independent. Before I knew it, 3 months was about to pass. I had somehow managed to start working freelance. I told you I couldn't fix it any more than this. I was learning lessons every day. There were a lot of strange clients. One time...
I'm sorry. I'm really shy, so I'm going to wear a mask.
Sometimes I had to work with suspicious people. I can't focus with this dog mask.
I wanted to meet with you about this.
Woof. In the end, it was just a mask, and she was nice. I had no idea it would be this hard. I just have to bear with it for now. Freelance work came with freedom, but you were on your own. You can't be picky with your jobs at first. I was barely getting any sleep. One day, when I was taking a break, my phone rang. Matsunaga?
It's been a while, sir. I wanted to talk to you about something. Can we meet?
You can't talk on the phone? I had answered because I thought it had to do with my resignation, but this was unexpected. I was wary. I didn't want to deal with that company anymore, so I wanted to settle things over the phone.
I'm sorry. Please, if you can.
He wasn't backing down. It was unusual for him to speak this much. I hesitated, but he used to work under me. I agreed. Okay, where should I go? We made plans to see each other the following weekend. I finished my work early to make time. It was finally the weekend. I went to the cafe we planned to meet at.
Did my makeup come off? Oh, I'm nervous. I have to act like your older sister.
Matsunaga and a beautiful woman were talking. I felt like I had seen something I wasn't supposed to.
You don't need makeup.
Stop! What if your value goes down because of it? This is the first time we're meeting, so I have to do everything I can. Thank you for taking care of my brother. I heard you taught him well. And I'm really sorry that you had to quit the company for my brother's sake.
She got straight into it.
I'm sorry.
Matsunaga apologized hesitantly. Apparently, this was a sister, and she was my age. It's fine. Let's not talk here. Let's go inside.
I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Heiji's sister, Vie Matsunaga.
When we got inside, Rie started talking.
Usually I work at my mother's company, Hybrid Link, in the business management department.
So, she's in line to be a chief. She talks like a successful woman. Maybe you already heard, but my name is Misumi. What did you want to talk about?
I heard from my brother. You were going to be unfairly demoted for reprimanding him. You thought that wasn't right, so you decided to quit.
What? You heard from Matsunaga?
Yes. He thinks it's not right that you had to quit.
I couldn't hide my surprise. When I was there, he never once did anything on his own, and I didn't think he respected me. I looked at him, and he looked away uncomfortably, but he slowly nodded.
You must be surprised. My parents and I feel the same way, but we're also happy. I think you know this. Heiji has never spoken up about anything on his own. But this time, Heiji took action without being asked.
Matsunaga saw how surprised I looked. He looked nervous.
I was really grateful for you.
3 months after he started working there, everyone treated him differently because he was the CEO's son, but I treated him the same. Matsunaga was listless, and you couldn't tell what he was thinking, but my persistence was working. He had slowly been opening up. That's when the problem occurred. He had failed to meet a deadline.
How do I do this?
He thought that if he asked me, I would be upset that he didn't know how to do it and abandon him. Afraid, he was unable to talk to me. Time passed and it was past the deadline.
Until now, I didn't have any confidence. I just scraped by. But it was my fault for missing the deadline. I deserve to be scolded. So why did you have to? Now I don't get any work that matters. You were the only one that treated me like you did everyone else.
Matsunaga? I had been demoted, but that wasn't because Matsunaga had told on me to Mr. Futo. Mr. Futo had just heard about what happened. Matsunaga was actually quite affected by me quitting. I'm sorry too. I had the wrong idea about you.
No, that's not it. It was my fault for being a coward and not being expressive.
I smiled. I thought it was ironic that we finally understood each other after I had quit.
I think it's thanks to you that we get to see this kind of change in my little brother. The demotion is unfair. You took care of Heiji. We don't want to return the favor by betraying you. So I had my mother talk to Mr. Futo about this demotion.
Rie's story goes back about a week ago. Mine Matsunaga was their mother and the CEO of Hybrid Link. She had called upon Mr. Futo for a meeting about an ongoing project. After the meeting, they were having a chat.
Thank you for taking care of my son. You offered to take in Heiji, didn't you?
Don't mention it. You all take good care of us.
I heard that his supervisor, Mr. Misumi, is passionate about training him. He sounds lovely. My son appreciates him. He says he takes good care of him.
Huh? Oh, yes, he's doing a good job. Misumi is good at his job, and people like him, so I thought he'd be a good trainer for Heiji. He would be happy to hear that Heiji feels that way.
How strange. You must know better than anyone, so why do you have to play the fool? Didn't he quit?
Well, that. I didn't know you liked to tell jokes.
I heard from my son. He said Mr. Misumi was demoted because of me and he quit. Heiji felt inferior to me and his sister. He became unmotivated. After discussing this with their company president, they suggested he change his environment and took him in.
So he didn't want to be treated differently. I see. I thought it would be better if Heiji could work in a more relaxed way. See, it would be troublesome if we were tough on him, and he became even more unmotivated, right? So...
I don't need excuses. You wanted to save face with clients, so you abused your power, didn't you?
Sometimes you can't do what's truly correct when you're bound by the rules. I did what I did to protect Heiji. You're smart. I'm sure you would have felt the same in many cases.
Do not rope me in with you. That's tyranny. There are rules so that kind of thing doesn't happen. But I'm relieved. My son isn't good at this work, but he never forgot what's important. Honestly, I think he's much better than you because you could break rules so easily. My son told me that this was not right without considering if it was advantageous to him or not. I can't apologize to Mr. Mitsumi enough for betraying him after he guided my son. Normally, I wouldn't want to keep working with a company that does unjust things. But your company has been good to us, so let's keep working together. But I will be reporting this to President Yagiri of your company.
Thanks to the new environment and my training, Matsunaga had grown slowly. Because Mr. Futo tried to use him, his bad deeds were revealed. I can't believe it.
My mother talked to President Yagiri, so I think things will change at Codeway. Thank you for treating and training my little brother equally.
Sir? I mean, Mr. Misumi, thank you. And I'm sorry for not meeting the deadline and making you quit.
Thank you, Matsunaga. I'm surprised you're doing so much. I won't go back, but if you understand what's important, you'll be okay. Good luck, Matsunaga.
Okay.
Good job, Heiji. You did the right thing.
I'm choking.
She's so happy for him. She's a good sister. Even if there's a huge gap in work skills, a family bond doesn't generally get swayed. As his boss, I hoped he could grow alongside a family that loved him. Matsunaga, did you think about it? A week after learning what happened behind the scenes, Mr. Futo was pestering Matsunaga. I took better care of you than Misumi did, didn't I? I have a favor to ask. I want you to talk to your mother. Misumi quitting was a misunderstanding. He wasn't going to be demoted. He just decided.
I was grateful to Mr. Misumi for teaching me.
What? Hold up, huh? What are you talking about? I was thinking about you. Matsunaga was expressing himself to him for the first time. He was surprised. President Yagiri, who was supposed to be very busy, came and interrupted.
Mr. Futo, I want to ask you something. Come with me.
What is it? They went to a meeting room. President Yagiri started taking out some documents.
There was a claim here about you. You threatened Misumi with unlawful demotion.
What? This is not from Matsunaga. It had seemed like I had quit without a trace of a doubt, but it's not like I didn't do anything. I had gone to several places to find a lawyer that was good with labor issues and inquired on how to receive compensation for the demotion. I did it because I thought that if I left this unjust decision alone, the other coworkers might suffer the same fate. Unintentionally, that happened at the same time that Matsunaga and his sister had taken action.
I'm confirming. Is it true that you made the decision to demote?
I didn't do anything like that. He decided on his own to quit. I didn't do anything.
Then why did he quit?
He said he wanted to grow in his career path.
Huh. Actually, there has been an anonymous report that you've been acting unlawfully, so we've been doing hearings without notifying you.
What?
We've confirmed the truth. If you had been honest, there might have been some grace, but you lied. I'm disappointed in you.
The meetings about evaluations were actually for this. People said they were having meetings about evaluations, but that was a front. What was really happening were hearings about unlawful actions in the development department. My faithful subordinates had anonymously tipped off the hotline that something was off.
I heard he was just demoted for reprimanding Matsunaga and then he quit. I don't know if it's true, but I heard rumors that this had happened before.
Things had been in the works to prove that Mr. Futo had been acting unlawfully.
There have been several cases in which you abused your position of power. I know that this happened a few years ago too.
Mr. Futo had a long history here, so he had a lot of influence on HR issues. The HR people couldn't go against him.
You can't hide now. I heard what happened from President Matsunaga too. That you tried to demote Misumi unlawfully. With this much evidence, you can't deny that you acted unlawfully. Would you like to tell me why you made a selfish decision like that?
But because he reprimanded Matsunaga. He's a valuable person to us. We have to treat him with care. If we upset him, we lose business. Obviously, we have to demote an employee that threatens the company like that.
Who do you think you are? All employees are equal. If the higher-ups act this way, the employees won't follow, and the department falls apart. If you pick favorites like this, the smart ones leave first, like Misumi. In the short term, your thought process might make sense. But a truly capable employee would know that that's not a sustainable plan. Unfair management makes employees unhappy. It leads to lower motivation and more resignations. I can't believe that as a department head you would do something bordering on illegal. We will try to settle this through mediation, so you're going to come and apologize to Misumi. You will be officially punished afterward, but I don't think you can avoid demotion. Be prepared for that.
What? He thought he was smart. He believed without a doubt that his choices were so justified that they could flip the rules. But intelligence isn't an excuse for tyranny. Mr. Futo was defeated. 2 weeks later, trial began. I had actually recorded my conversation with Mr. Futo. I'd heard the rumors from a few years ago, and had a bad feeling when he called on me. That's why I was able to report on this with confidence. I apologize. It was proven that Mr. Futo had indeed acted unlawfully. I received compensation, and he was demoted. He went through the evaluation process and reassessed the demotion process before promising not to do this again. Any superior officers that were directly involved were fired, and any employees were punished. They contacted employees that were affected a few years ago and gave them compensation as well. As for me, this really helps. I'm so grateful for consistent business with big clients. My freelance life was going well after snagging a big client called Hybrid Link. I was relieved to hear that there was a reassessment of the HR process at Codeway too.
I was able to report my work today.
That's great. Reporting is important. Keep it up. Matsunaga was receiving training like everyone else. He sometimes felt like giving up, but I guess he liked hearing me praise him. He was slowly changing. As we discussed Matsunaga, I got closer to Rie.
You're honorable outside of work, too. I'm glad you were Heiji's first boss.
I'm not that great, but I'm honored you think that way. You can't avoid being called useless or otherwise in society. But you can't get arrogant, and you can't hide away either way. You can't lose sight of what's important.
Mr. Misumi? I think my sister is great. So, my sister is pretty and she's good at her job. She's respectable, so I think you two...
What are you saying right now?
If you keep that up, you're bound to meet some lovely people outside of your work. In repaying favors, in friendship, and sometimes in love.
Aw, I loved this episode. It was really sweet of them to go out of their way for that, and him as well. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you next time. Bye, lovelies!